All right, let's just jump right in. You know that feeling, right? You're staring at some big task, a project, a goal, and you just can't start. It feels like this massive mountain you have to climb. But what if I told you the secret to getting started, the whole trick, was just 2 minutes? Yeah, we call this the starting hurdle. It's like an invisible force field that just pops up the second you even think about starting something new. It's that initial wave of resistance that can kill your momentum before it even has a chance to get going. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's so simple, but it feels so true. I mean, think about it. Once you're actually in it, doing the work, you find your rhythm, you get into a flow, but that very first step, that's the real monster. But why? Why is it so hard? What is this secret enemy we're all fighting? Well, I'll tell you this much. It is not what you think. It actually comes down to this really fascinating quirk in how our brains are wired, basically to protect us. So, let's pop the hood, shall we? Let's take a look at what's actually going on inside your brain in that moment of hesitation. It's time to decode this powerful resistance that keeps so many of us completely stuck. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. See, we think the enemy is the effort. We think we're avoiding the hard work, the task itself. But the real enemy, the thing our brain is actually throwing up red flags about, is something way more subtle. It's uncertainty. It's the unknown of just getting started. And that right there is the absolute key. Let me say it again. Your brain hates uncertainty. It doesn't hate effort. It can handle hard work just fine. What it absolutely cannot stand is ambiguity. When it doesn't know what that first step looks like or how it's going to feel, bam, it slams on the emergency brake. And this isn't you being lazy. It's a deep-seated survival instinct. And you feel this all the time, right? It's that gut-wrenching feeling of staring at a blank page or, looking at that mountain of dishes in the sink and just not knowing where to even begin. It's that feeling of cracking open a really dense textbook. In every single one of these cases, the problem isn't the work itself. It's the total lack of a clear, simple, defined starting point. All right, so we've taken the problem apart. We know what the enemy is. Now for the really fun part, the ridiculously simple trick you can use to just sidestep all that resistance and finally get going. And you know what the best part is? You don't need some complicated productivity system. You don't need a massive surge of willpower. Nope. The most powerful solution is actually beautiful in its simplicity because it's designed to work with your brain's wiring, not fight against it. Believe it or not, it all comes down to this one little number, 2. That's it. That is the entire key, the whole shebang, just 2. So here it is, the 2-minute rule. The deal you make with yourself isn't to finish the task. The commitment is just to start it for 120 seconds. Now, why on earth does this work so well? Because it shrinks that scary unknown down to practically nothing. I mean, come on, 2 minutes is nothing, right? Your brain's not scared of 2 minutes. And just like that, poof, the resistance just vanishes. And it really is this simple. Step 1, pick your task, whatever it is you've been putting off. Step 2, shrink the start. This is crucial. Write a book becomes write one single sentence. Clean the whole kitchen becomes put one dish in the dishwasher. And then step 3, commit to doing only that tiny action for just 2 minutes. That's the whole deal. You can do that, right? Of course you can. But here's the thing, the real magic doesn't actually stop after 2 minutes. Oh no. In fact, that's where the real power of this whole thing kicks in. This is all about building unstoppable momentum from the tiniest possible spark. And what's so cool is that science backs this up. Once you start, everything changes. That psychological wall you built up, it crumbles. The initial friction is just gone. And what you'll find more often than not is that after your 2 minutes are up, you don't even want to stop. You've created momentum. And now it's actually easier to keep going than it is to stop. And this is the philosophy at the very heart of it all. Start small, finish strong. It's not about psyching yourself up to tackle the entire mountain at once. It's just about finding the courage to take that one single tiny step. The rest, it'll follow. So, my question to you is this. Right now, what is one thing you can start? What will you start in the next 2 minutes. The clock's already ticking.